Hi guys, I'm Kiri, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about ALFA ROMEO 1750 GTV. This model is very desirable today and well appreciated not only from the Alfisti, but from every car guy. The car is also known as a 1750 GT Veloce, Gran Turismo Veloce, and translated Veloce mean fast. The Italian loves the word Veloce, we know the Lamborghini models SV Super Veloce, and they're really very fast. ALFA ROMEO 1750 GTV was ready in 1967, but first presented in January 1968. Was the successor of 1965-1968 model ALFA ROMEO Giulia Sprint GT Veloce. Before that was 1963-1965 ALFA ROMEO Giulia Sprint GT, which is actually the original Bertone step-nose car. Later, 1750 GTV will be replaced in 1972 by the 2-liter 2000 GTV. All four cars are very similar design, so everything starts from 1963 Giorgetto Giugiaro designed step-nose, who was working for Bertone on that time, ALFA ROMEO Giulia Sprint GT, which originally was 1.6-liter twin overhead cam. After 2 years only, ALFA ROMEO updated to again 1.6-liter, but Giulia Sprint GT Veloce. Then, in 1967, the car in front of us, 1750 GTV. Here the engine was enlarged to 1.75-liter, we're going to talk about this little bit later. And as we said, the last update was in 1972 2000 GTV. ALFA ROMEO has a great racing history and heritage, and proving that racing improves the breed. ALFA ROMEO have been incorporating lessons from the track since 1923. The racing 1600 GTA led to the 1750. That was stretched for racing as the GTA and led to these WAS 2000 models. Both GTA and GTA M won European Saloon Car Championship. As we said, the coupe body is by Bertone, but Pininfarina did the short wheelbase Spider Veloce convertible. As the sports cars deserve to be, all engines are light alloy with twin overhead cam. So 100 years ago, ALFA ROMEO won the first big race, Targa Florio, with the 1923 model RLTF. The same year, the model finished not only first, but other cars finished on second and fourth place. So this was the first very successful ALFA ROMEO racing car. Before that, ALFA ROMEO was winning in many different races, but not that big like Targa Florio. After 1923, Bugatti took the domination on Targa Florio, but ALFA ROMEO cars always been very close to win. Next Targa Florio victory was in 1930. And then, if we have to talk about all ALFA ROMEO victories and great moments, we need to write a book. All this racing experience from even more than 100 years ago led to the car in front of us, 1967 ALFA ROMEO 1750 GT Veloce. It's a shame today ALFA ROMEO is not that what was many years ago. They enter again Formula 1, which is great, but it's not enough to bring back the racing glory of this amazing brand. The model 1750 GTV is improved a lot compared with the previous two models. It's a car which weighs 1 ton, or maybe just over 1 ton, and in combination with the great 1.75-liter engine, to be more precise 1779cc, which producing 120 horsepower, it's a fantastic car to drive, with amazing balance. This was the time, 1967, when Lamborghini Miura was the top supercar, again designed by Bertone. Or Ferrari 275 GTB, GTB4, or even De Tomaso Mangusta and Maserati Sebring, let's say. But these cars were extremely expensive and only for special people. Don't think ALFA ROMEO was cheap car. They were quite expensive as well, and not for every person again. But of course, much more affordable sports car than the four above. Some years ago, a friend of mine, an Italian guy, told me that when he was a kid, he's from Turin by the way, every year all the family jump in the original Fiat 500 and just go different part of Italy, Rome, Sicily, or Italy. And he said the original actually air-cooled Fiat 500 was very reliable car. But he told me that his father wanted to buy an ALFA ROMEO. Was his dream car, but he never bought because it was very expensive. So for the normal working class people, ALFA ROMEO was expensive car as well. Even the coupe versions, GT or GTV or Spider Veloce were above the average price. These ALFA ROMEO cars are known as well as the 105-115 series. Was one of the first Giorgetto Giugiaro design. The very first was ALFA ROMEO 2000 2600 Sprint, but this was a bit luxury two-door car. 1750 GTV was a very sporty entry-level car and is one of the most significant Alfa Romeo sports car today. Of course, there are many super sporty Alfa Romeo cars, but this was the car you can drive on the road and then you can go to race on the track. Early 1600 cars are over 100 horsepower, approximately 108 horsepower. The 1750 is 120 horsepower and later 2000 are 130 horsepower. But 1750 by some people is the best of all. More balanced, lighter like the 1600, but more powerful. Well known are the 1300 GT cars, famous as the junior versions. Alfa Romeo 1750 GT Veloce was in production just for 5 years, as we mentioned earlier, from 1967 to 1972. It's a two-door, very beautiful coupe. The base was the same as the four-door 1750, but was shortened by Bertone, and the result is very beautiful Alfa Romeo sporty car. In total, Alfa Romeo built by some sources over 44,000 of these 1750 coupe cars, but by the other sources just over 32,000 cars. It's a huge difference between 32,000 and 44,000, but at the moment there is not known which number is absolutely correct. Anyway, many of these cars are not existing today. Because we know the Alfa Romeo cars from that time, they had problems with the rust, so many of them just being scrapped, or because they are quite fast, they just being crushed and then again scrapped. We don't know how many are in existence today. For sure there are not many, but the cars in existence today are very well looked after and they are joy for them owners. Just 2350mm wheelbase, the same like the early Porsche 911s. The car is long just over 4 meters and is very narrow, even under 1.6 meters. Its height just over 1.3 meters. We mentioned earlier the curb weight is just over 1 ton. This car for 1967 was a pocket rocket. The twin-cam engine was revving all the way up to 6000 RPM and was very responsive. The 1600 was revving to 7000 RPM, but 1750 was reduced to 6000. 1600 was more powerful at the high end, but 1750 is more torquey from the low revs and is more responsive in any revs. 186 Nm of torque at 3000 RPM, 120 horsepower extracted from the 1779cc 4-cylinder inline engine, which was mounted longitudinally in the front side of the car. Next to the engine was engaged the 5-speed manual gearbox, which again was huge extra for the car of 1960s. And this was something only for the supercars. Most of the cars on that time were with 4-speed, even 3-speed transmissions. The engine was fed by 2 Solex or Delor 2 carburetors. The car was equipped with fuel injection as well, but only for the US and the Canadian market to meet the high level regulations. Most of the cars being produced in Italy, but some of them in South Africa for the domestic market, and actually the car was very popular in Africa as well. 1750 GT Veloce cars were fitted with 165 by 14 tires, Pirelli or Michelin. The early 1600 was with 155/15, so for the more powerful GTV model, more wider tires. Also, the chassis was improved from the 1600 model, the suspension as well, the brakes, so on the end was much better car than the predecessor 1600 GTV. 4 round headlights replaced the only 2 on the early cars, and the very distinctive step-nose Giorgetto Giugiaro designed front side of the bonnet was eliminated in favor of more clean and smooth design. Of course, many changes to the 1750 GTV cars being done to improve the car, many elements being modified, and all this just to make the car better and better. But very importantly, they kept the original design, the 1963 Giorgetto Giugiaro design, or let's say Bertone design, up to the end of the production in 1977 with the model 2000 GTV. And this was simply because this car was very, very successful and the Alfisti just loved the design of the 1963 car. Of course, we need to mention the model 1750 GTA and GTA M. These cars were specially built for racing, and they are dream today for many car collectors all around the world. They are much more lighter weight, more powerful, Very angry engines and noisy of course. Sometimes it's hard to sit inside. And completely different suspension, much wider track and tires, magnesium wheels. So they're unbelievable cars. Again, according to some sources, just 40 Alfa Romeo GTA M cars are built, but this is not verified. And imagine these Alfa Romeo GTA M cars were producing up to 240 horsepower, so double the power of the normal Alfa Romeo 1750 GT Veloce. How cool was that for 1960s? These cars were faster on the track than anything else. As we mentioned earlier, they won the European Championship. Very attractive and aggressive cars even when they are not in move. Just to watch them is an amazing moment. But even the normal road versions, like the car in front of us, the Alfa Romeo 1750 GT Veloce, is a great history, a piece of art made by Bertone, and a very significant part of the Alfa Romeo history. After that, Alfa Romeo went a bit different way. Even later, a front-wheel drive were introduced, and Alfa Romeo lost a bit from the originality. And of course, the quality went down. But today they are probably on the right way with the rear-wheel drive Giulia and the SUVs. So there is a lot to come and to see. Just have a look how beautiful designed car is. The proportions are exactly what you need, nice looking alloy wheels, lots of glass for perfect vision and actually make the car very light and spacious inside. Despite the actual size of the car, we mentioned earlier, is very narrow, even under 1.6 meters, but very sporty and good looking car for every day. The interior is just amazing, like every Alfa Romeo. Most of them they are in black interior, black leather, so the seats are in black leather, the dashboards, the door cards, everything is in black, which is just amazing for sports cars. And the steering wheels, all Alfa Romeo actually they have nice wooden steering wheels, and this was probably up to the middle of 1980s. We still remember now Alfa Romeo 75 and Alfa Romeo 33, even normal cars with wooden steering wheel, which was just amazing. So the steering wheel is a very beautiful part actually of every Alfa Romeo car. The gear lever is very near to the steering wheel, which is very sporty actually. The gear lever needs to be very near to the steering wheel, so you have very quick response to change the gears. The saloon, the interior is just amazing as every Alfa Romeo car. So guys, I hope you liked the video about this 1967 model Alfa Romeo 1750 GT Veloce. If you liked, please subscribe my channel and see you next time guys. Bye!